Hello, I'm Kelly Dennis. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I work with people who are challenged by various issues. But one of the things that I've noticed about the people that I work with, and people in general, is that we all struggle with tolerating distress and managing our emotions effectively, and really just being able to feel good and be aware of our lives as we're going through them without worrying about the past or worrying about the future. And so I've developed this YouTube channel to give you some tips and tricks on how to lead a better life and feel better all around with your health and with yourself. And so if you've been following along, you know that I really like mindfulness, and I've done some mindfulness videos and guided imagery, meditation. We even dabbled a little bit in the emotional freedom technique, or energy tapping. And so hopefully you've tried all of those things and you've found some things that are working for you to help you to feel better and to manage your stress more effectively. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about communication. It's something that is really important, and there are people that are fantastic communicators, and they're easy to listen to, and we typically learn a lot from them, and we feel like we're engaged. And then there are people who don't communicate very well. They have trouble getting their thoughts across. They don't really use good communication skills or styles. And I tend to talk a lot about this with clients when they do couples counseling, or people when they're trying to be able to talk to their parents, or parents when they're trying to talk to their children. People who are in a position at work where they need to be able to collaborate with one another and need to be able to get their ideas across effectively. And one of the things that I've noticed that really influences a person's ability to communicate effectively is how they feel about themselves. Now that may sound surprising at first, but really it's not. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't value yourself and believe that you are worthwhile, then you also don't believe that your opinions are worth being listened to, or that you should take up people's time. And so people who communicate in this style of not feeling good enough about themselves can really tend to communicate in ways that are not effective, and they really feel like they're not heard. And some of those communication styles are disclaimers. You might think this is stupid, but, right? So everything that comes after that, the person is like, you're wanting me to agree with you that this is stupid. So disclaimers are not a good way to start a conversation. Effusive apologies. You may know somebody who says, "Oh, I am so sorry, but I have to tell you." Well, you know, that kind of turns people off. So that's not a communication style that's a good one to use. Fumbling. Looking for your words, not knowing the right words to say. Well, it's kind of like, I mean, I think, and you know, you don't come off as very confident at all. Emotional. Now, those of you who are my clients, or you followed the YouTube channel, you know that emotions are supposed to be telling us something, and so it's okay that we have emotions. But if you want to get into a conversation with somebody, identify and check in with your emotions ahead of time. Because a lot of times we can get very emotional, we can come off as angry, or we can start to cry, or some people, when they're nervous, they laugh. And so all of those emotions can distract or detract away from what you want to say. So try to get a handle on what you're thinking and feeling before you go into a conversation with someone if you can. The other thing, and I notice this a lot with women, I don't know what it is about us, but somebody will give us a compliment and we'll say, "Oh, that was nothing." No, you know, anybody could do that. So we're not taking credit for something that that person is trying to affirm us or validate us for. And so that can be really invalidating for the person that's trying to give us that affirmation. So think about that before you do that. And then tag questions. So those are the things that are on the end of a comment or a sentence. "That was a really good report, don't you think?" So you're really kind of telling the person that if they don't agree with you, they shouldn't bother communicating that back to you. And so these are things I notice when people don't feel really good about themselves. They use this communication style quite a lot. The other thing that we often don't think about in communication is body language. So if you don't feel good about yourself and you don't feel good about your body, you can come off in a very closed kind of way. So people who struggle with negative body image tend to do things like put barriers between them and another person. So when they're talking, if they're sitting down, they might put a pillow in front of them, over their chest or over their tummy. Or they might fold themselves up and cross their legs, not really in an effort to be closed off, but they just don't want people to see their bodies. But that comes off as being very closed off and not engaged. So watch your body language. The other thing that can happen a lot is tone. So people are very sensitive to another person's tone. And if they feel like the tone isn't matching what you're saying, they're going to discredit what you're saying. And if you don't feel really good about yourself, you can be speaking in a tone that's very defensive. You just want, even if you're not expecting the other person to be defensive, you can come off with a tone that's very defensive. And that's off-putting to other people. So I wanted to talk with you about this and then do a little bit of a guided imagery exercise to maybe help you with some of these communication styles if you feel like you're somebody who falls into these communication styles. So if you're interested, as always, get yourself into a comfortable position, making sure that your head, neck, and spine are straight. You can be sitting up or lying down. If you're sitting up, make sure that your feet are comfortably on the floor. If you're lying down, make sure that there's something maybe under your knees or under your lower back. Get yourself into a comfortable position. And then begin by taking a nice deep breath in and letting it out. And then take another deep breath in and let it out. And one more time, deep breath in. And this time when you let it out, allow your body to just settle into whatever you're sitting on or lying upon. And then just breathe in whatever way feels comfortable to you. And because you know how to get comfortable, and because it's easy to relax when you're comfortable, then you can feel very relaxed and comfortable, breathing slowly and easily, paying attention to the rise and the fall of your body as the air moves in and out. And so it's almost as if every time you breathe, you can just release more and more tension and allow yourself to feel more and more relaxed. And so now, if you'd like to, go ahead and imagine yourself sitting across from someone that's very important to you, someone that you care that they hear and understand you. And so picture yourself just feeling very relaxed and comfortable sitting across from this person. And imagine that you'd like to be able to say something to them about how you're thinking and feeling, about maybe a recent topic or an argument or a conflict that you've had, or something that feels very important to you that you want to get across to them. And then just allow yourself to visualize, imagine, pretend, whatever word you'd like to use, that you can talk to them in a way that's effortless. Just pretend that the words, exactly the way you want that person to hear them, just flow right out of your mouth. And pretend that you can see them smiling and nodding and leaning into you, so you know that they're really connecting with what it is you're saying. And so see yourself and hear yourself being able to articulate in a way that's very confident, using assertive communication. I feel sad, or whatever you're feeling, when you, whatever it is that they're doing that's maybe triggering something in you to feel that way, because, and let them know why you feel that way. And so see yourself and feel yourself in a comfortable place, being able to articulate this in a way that's easy and free. And then imagine the other person nodding affirmatively, and you know that they're understanding what you're saying. And so you realize that you've just communicated in a way that was effective and meaningful. And then allow yourself to feel that confidence that comes when you communicate effectively. And so now what I'd like you to do is imagine a time in your past when you have communicated effectively, or when you've had to teach someone something and you've done that effectively, or when you've given a presentation or you've done some public speaking and you've done that effectively. And remember how you felt during that time and after that time. And so now, every time you communicate, you can remember to take a nice deep breath in and let it out, thinking about what you want to say before you say it, and then communicating assertively. I feel when you, because, and then checking in with that person to make sure that they heard what you said. And so now, taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes, waking up your body. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. So I hope that this was helpful for you to think about the way that you communicate, and then to be able to do this little guided imagery exercise so that you might be able to be on the path to being a more effective communicator. I'm Kelly Dennis. Be well and have a wonderful day.